Are you still living in pain? For so long, so much of my life, I lived from a place of pain, and I didn't understand why. I kept creating pain over and over and over again. I missed that there's 3 other steps, that once you learn how to master these 3 steps, and you actually submit and surrender your will to the process, that it leads to a complete different prospect. Here's what I mean by that. From pain, when I learned to sit in pain, what's revealed on the other side is the purpose. Now, I don't know why certain things happen in life, but what I've learned is when we're open to experiencing life at its fullest, on the other side of pain is the purpose. So is pain necessary in addiction? Well, in the early stages, yeah. It takes pain to actually get us up off our ass and change the behavior that's creating the pain. But here's where most people miss. They miss of turning pain into purpose. Because once I can turn pain into purpose, I've found my purpose. I understand with much more clarity of why this happened and how to actually make sense of it and turn it into something proactive, something positive. And then from this place of purpose, we learn to change from purpose to the path. Purpose illuminates the path, one step at a time. I mean, I hope you're leaning in and really getting this, because you don't have to stay in the pain for too long once you understand this process. From pain to purpose, purpose leads to illuminating the path, and then from the path is where you start to find peace. Imagine looking back on your past, all the crap that happened to you, and actually learning from a place of peace, because purpose was found in that pain that led you on the path to find this. And here's the neat thing about this type of, I guess you can call it the mathematical peace, is once you understand this and you come over here to peace, you can learn how to no longer sit in the pain, and peace leads to a new purpose. So it's like pain becomes dissolved and it's no longer a part of the equation. And then from this place of peace, you find this new seasonal purpose, which leads to this new and even deeper and meaningful path that in turn goes back to peace. So you can see how we can actually make cyclical things beautiful when we sit in the pocket of pain. So instead of trying to sedate the pain, instead of trying to numb out the pain or stuff the pain or ignore it, to actually sit in it, to give it a voice. I remember learning this a long time ago, and it totally changed my world. Shared pain is pain divided. When I learned how to vocalize to family, to friends, to basically anyone who would even listen, when I started sharing my pain, it wasn't as deep and painful. It was like it lessened a little bit more and more, and the more I talked about it, the less it started to affect me. And that's what led to finding the purpose that was on the other side of the pain in this cycle that I just shared with. So I don't know where you are in this process. If you're still in the pain, look for the purpose. If you sit in the pit of pain, you will find the purpose. If you need help, you can always reach out. But of understanding this new cycle, once you sink into purpose, you find the path. Once you find the path, it leads you to the peace. Once you find peace, it continues that cycle from purpose to peace. If you found this helpful, subscribe and share this with someone who may be needing to hear this.